Heat a fire, drop of water. I can feel it in my body, in my spirit, in my soul.
Who would Wendy be? I think, at least for me, she would be on that it's not scared or afraid or concerned about telling you what she thinks when she thinks it. And she will tell you, hey, what happened with your hair? And, what are you doing? And she'll tell you the good and the bad and all that.
You can come over here. You shouldn't be on the table though. Either here or the floor. Yeah, they need to know who I'm talking to, not myself. Wave. I'll die if you do that. Wendy Marissa. I am 66 years old. I am a 6th grade math teacher. Been doing that for about 18 years in North Carolina. Love my job. I've been at Beth Shalom since I think we said 97. And I've been working there actually for the last 15 years. So I'm a dual employee and member. I am the finance manager. I process all the payments that come in. I do financial reports, pay bills, and I've worked with probably 8 treasurers now. And I was a child by the name of Sam, who is 31, lives in Chicago. He joined the temple in 97. So it was time for him to start preparing for bar mitzvah and things like that. And he really enjoyed it. We had a couple of different rabbis at the time, but we persevered and stuck around. And then Rabbi Ettery came. He's been there 15 years. And Sam, after his bar mitzvah, which was an unusual time, his father had a brain aneurysm in 2000. So when he was bar mitzvah, he couldn't even be there. And it was kind of a trying time. It was kind of a sanctuary for me because I was going through a really bad time and eventually divorced. We were divorced in 99 or 90. Well, actually right before his brain aneurysm. It became quite a haven because it was someplace safe I could be when I wasn't at home before we divorced. So, because that was not a fun time. So that's what made me who I am now and as strong and whatnot, because I was kind of a marshmallow in those days. You wouldn't have believed it. So, but everything comes out the way it's supposed to. I work on Sunday mornings the majority of the time so I can see people. It's the only time I get to see some of the kids. So I have a lot of kids that I met when they were really little and have gotten to know them and kept relationships with them. The kids grow up, but they don't change as much as you think. But the relationships stay there, and it really does. It's interesting to watch. Sometimes it's not so pleasant. We've buried a couple of kids from the temple that should not have happened, and that was hard. We had a casket in the temple, which I'd never seen happen before. That was devastating. There is no gray area. It's either black or white, and if you don't want the answer, don't ask me. And a lot of that comes from having been through the marriage I was through and having to come out on the other side whole and not giving into it. Because as I say, I put up with that for a very long time. And once I came out of that, I had to have a shell around me to protect myself and not have it happen again. There was some physical, which heals, but the verbal doesn't. But it also endears me to certain people because they know if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. Because they know I'm there for a reason. The same thing at Temple. So there's been people that come in that need help with things and can't afford to pay whatever and cry with me and but it's just the way it is. I have been through so much that I can empathize for real and not be lip service. All I can say to people, just genuinely be who you are and make sure you can find who that is. And that's a hard thing to do. And it took me going through literally being verbally abused and being separated on a domestic violence order to get that. You have to be comfortable in your skin. And I tell my students, first I ask them, can you see yourself in the mirror when you're brushing your teeth? Because some of them are kind of tiny. And if you can, you have to talk to yourself every day. Know that this is the best day you're ever going to have. And at night, figure out why it wasn't, if it wasn't. We all go through stuff that we don't tell necessarily. And we just have to make sure that people know what we're doing and be aware that other people are struggling sometimes. And it's not just that they're being mean. They just can't express it any other way than being grumpy. So that would probably be it. And that's probably why I have the relationships I do at Temple, because I'm a really good listener.